Merry early Christmas.
Oh my god!
I don't have any. My mom is calling me again.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Fake Minecraft speedruns are hilarious because people are terrible at hiding the fact that they cheated. These are the funniest fake Minecraft speedruns. This speedrunner starts off spawning in a village. They immediately dig into this specific block and there's a chest under it, but it's empty. So they must have forgotten to fill it before they started the speedrun. Also, the villagers aren't moving and they're floating in the air, so the speedrunner definitely spawned them in prior to the run with command blocks. And they can't even trade with them because they forgot to fill their secret chest from earlier. They resort to plan B and get some wood and make some tools, then they start digging straight into a wall that suspiciously had a bunch of flowers near it, and there's a ruined nether portal that needs one more block of obsidian. But it looks like they forgot to fill all the chests they spawned in creative because this one is completely empty. With no shame whatsoever, there's a hilariously obvious cut in the footage, and the portal suddenly is complete, but they don't have flint and steel to light it. Well, they must be really lucky because they break the chest and dig beneath it, and there's another chest. This must be a new feature. Luckily, there's flint and steel in the chest, and that's it. Not suspicious at all. They go to the nether, but waste a lot of time trying to find a nether fortress. All of a sudden, there's a cut to the run, but it seems like nothing is different. They're still wasting a lot of time. Wait, what? They just killed a piglin, and it dropped 24 blaze rods. How is it even possible? Well, I guess they don't need a nether fortress anymore, so they go back to the portal. But it's not lit anymore, which is really unlucky and impossible. But I think they did this for a reason. They explore a little more and find a different portal that's already lit, but it brings them to what seems like the middle of nowhere. They go down this seemingly normal waterfall, and it leads them directly to the stronghold. Still though, they haven't found any endermen, so it's going to be impossible for them to fill the end portal. Well, they go to a very specific room, and inside is an enderman farm. They're literally falling from the sky, and this guy doesn't have to move a muscle. On top of that, each enderman is dropping 5 pearls every time. With this luck, this guy should play the lottery. They craft Eyes of Ender, fill the portal, and enter the end. And out of nowhere, they start flying, as if they have fireworks and elytra, but their hotbar doesn't show any of that. Also, they just entered the end, so how else would they legitimately get elytra? So using these new tools and just cropping a fake hotbar over their screen, they kill the ender dragon, but it looks like they have so many plugins running, the endgame portal doesn't even work, so they just cut the footage. What in tarnation. This speedrunner starts off by getting wood, building tools, and exploring a mine shaft for extra loot. They find pretty normal looking loot like a few gold ingots, some armor, and an ender pearl. After a while of exploring, they go back to the surface and they throw the ender pearl, which is a complete waste because they're gonna need it for the Eyes of Ender. Are you serious? Okay, so them magically teleporting to the stronghold was clearly fake, but it can't get worse, right? Well, they start looting chests in the stronghold, and they find some diamonds, some bread, an AC-130. Wait, what?
Our AC-130 is in the air.
This one was legit. This speedrun, I'm apologizing in advance for the brain cells you're about to lose. World generation looks normal, their spawn looks normal, loot looks good. Okay, now wait a second. Maybe they could have gotten away with the enchanting bottles, but a diamond pickaxe and a sharpness 1000 book? Yeah, right. We'll let it slide for now. They go to the brewing stand and oh look, a villager left some blaze powder in it. How convenient. The speedrunner tries to apply their sharpness 1000 enchantment to the wooden sword, but it doesn't work, so they just equip the book instead. Weird. But when they use it as a weapon, it's a one-hit KO. Ah yes, the one-punch book. Now, I love Marvel movies, especially Doctor Strange, but this part is just too much for me. I'm not sure how this is possible, but they're in a completely different village now. And then they jump down this hole, and the fabric of reality is torn in half. They return to the original village, and they casually loot it for food, as if none of that portal sorcery just happened. On top of that, they just casually walk by this floating portal to a different dimension. They jump down the well, but instead of the well, it's a hallway that leads directly to the stronghold. And it has 11 Eyes of Ender in it, which is impossible. Right when they enter the end, they suddenly have slow falling, and at this point, the speedrun moderators are probably impressed. They actually waste a lot of time waiting for the dragon to perch, despite having a book that can one-hit KO anything. Finally, they realize they have to break the end crystals to make the dragon perch, so they attempt breaking one of them, and they die by accident. Honestly, if you consider magic as tool-assisted, this was a great speedrun. This speedrun actually has a professional start to it. They spawn in a village, take a bed and a crafting table, but then there's this weird tree that has a sign on it that reads, "I am a tree," with apples and item frames. He breaks the base of the tree and falls through a trapdoor to the stronghold. There's a chest that has 3 ender pearls and iron boots, and an end portal that only needs 1 Eye of Ender. The chances of this happening is literally 1 in a trillion, but the speedrunner can't actually complete the portal, so this is the end of the run, right? Wrong. He jumps into the lava and there's a secret cavern beneath it that has an unusually tall ruined nether portal in in it. But there's ancient debris near it, so this is clearly fake. They find one block of obsidian and flint and steel in the chest, and there's conveniently one empty spot on the portal to fill. They light the portal, enter the nether. Wait a second. How are they running so quickly on soul sand? They conveniently find a bastion, and there's a door that leads to an enchantment table. No, wait, why are they leaving? The speedrunner instead jumps down a ditch, lands on a blaze spawner, and the button they press gives them one blaze rod. Totally legit. They go down a hallway with 16 ancient debris, which isn't even possible, and it leads back to the nether portal. Why aren't they going through the portal? They throw an ender pearl and find another lit nether portal, and it leads them to the middle of nowhere. I don't think they understand how speedruns work. They go up to an oak tree in a desert, which isn't even possible, and remember what happened last time when they broke a tree? Well, this must be the newest feature. So they're in the end, but they have no blocks to bridge to the... I can't watch this anymore. And oh look, a ladder, how convenient. With no shame whatsoever, the speedrunner fights in a grueling battle against this Wish.com recreation of the Ender Dragon and beats the game. Who did they think they were fooling? This speedrunner starts off by getting wood, jumping in the ocean and taking a swim, and then he crafts a minecart. Wait, this is the wrong footage. This speedrun starts off fairly normal. They have a legitimate looking world creation screen, but when they load in, it clearly says changed game mode to survival, despite the terrible job at cropping it out. On top of that, the player has blocks on their hotbar and nonchalantly throws them into the ocean as if it never happened. Oh yeah, they spawned in an ocean. Remember the creative world from earlier? Coincidence? I think not. Well, maybe they can redeem themselves. Wait, no, why are they mining stones with their hands? Ah yes, a conveniently placed barrel right at spawn full of water-breathing potions. The only thing that would be even more convenient would be an underwater shipwreck full of overpowered loot, am I right? You've gotta be kidding me. This kid really placed stacks of netherite blocks, eyes of ender, and end portal frames and thought they could get away with it. Well, it's still early in the run. They can still redeem themselves, right? Wrong. They must have gone in creative and built this nether portal and another barrel full of more unnecessarily overpowered loot. They only take the flint and steel and try to light the portal, but quickly realize that they built the portal incorrectly. But it's fine, they've got a plan. The speedrunner tries making the end portal, and after a few minutes of trying to figure out why the portal won't work, they realize they forgot to place an eye, but even then, it still doesn't work. I can't watch this anymore. Naturally, they try to make another end portal, and they mess that one up too. Third time's a charm, right? After wasting 5 minutes being bad at cheating, they finally get to the end, but they realize that they never got any tools. So they waste another 5 minutes trying to figure out how the /give command works. After legitimately getting a netherite pickaxe, you can see they turn on keep inventory, even after they tried to crop it out of the video. Not sure why they'd need that on. Roll the clip. That's right, they use the /kill command that even kills themselves. But it's okay, they're making great time. After shamelessly respawning and returning to the end, they almost get killed by an enderman and beat the game. This speedrunner starts off mid-jump, and are speedrunners allowed to use resource packs? The speedrunner enters a village house that shouldn't have a chest in it, but it does. And take a look at what they find.
Is that the legendary stick of Jesus? Oh my god.
I'm sorry, did he just say the stick of Jesus? Get ready to witness a miracle.
Okay, yes, it always gives you 5 iron.
Yeah, they cut their recording, so we're just gonna have to trust that they actually did get 5 iron ingots from that golem. As if this speedrunner wasn't already suspicious enough, listen to how conspicuous this goofball sounds.
I just need a crafting table. I'm gonna check in here. Oh my god, there's a crafting table. It's almost like I put that in there. No, I'm just kidding. I have to cut that out of the recording.
This guy sounds so guilty. There is no way this was submitted to speedrun.com. So yeah, they found a crafting table, made a bucket, and watch what happens when they attempt to make a nether portal.
Okay, guys,
This goober is such a bad liar. He makes those $10 billion inheritance emails look real.
now I need a flint. Okay, guys, I got a flint and steel.
Bruh. I guess he has flint and steel now, so he lights the portal and enters the nether.
Alright, I'm in the nether. Now we just gotta go.
Go where? How is this the nether?
We can't, oh, come on!
Where are you?
Okay, we don't have too long to do this.
Do what? Where is Minecraft?
I have to do this as fast as possible.
Do what as fast as possible? Do I live under a rock and miss some big new Minecraft update?
Okay, if we do this next level, it should give me enough stuff to actually get to the end.
Okay, now wait a second. What?
Please? Oh my god, no way. It worked. I have 127 totems.
Can someone confirm the legitimacy of the speedrun, please?
This should be where I can go down to get to the end. please. Is this right? Oh my god. God says good luck. I guess he misspelled it or something though.
I'm sorry, but do you really expect me to believe that God would misspell the word luck? This guy is such a fraud.
Well, I don't have blaze rods, but this ore seems kind of cool. What if oh my god, it worked! It gave me blaze rods and pearls.
What? From golden ore? So they make Eyes a vendor, fill the portal, and enter the end.
I got rid of the crystals, have fun. Your dad. P.S. They're out of milk.
Oh my holy cannoli!
No! Okay, I will do this for my dad.
You can do it!
He went to the store to buy milk and he hasn't returned for 30 years. I need to do this to make him return. Oh my god, oh my god. I gotta go get the dragon. Yes! Let's go!
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about!
Doomsday crisis diverted.
Wait, where's my dad?
So how about that new Nether update, huh? Look, you probably won't believe me, but this next speedrun is so cursed. Just take a look at how it starts. Are speedruns supposed to have intros? On top of that, we were fortunate enough to get some live commentary from the speedrunner.
So today we will be speedrunning. Let's go.
Oh, this is gonna be so goofy. They spawn right outside of a desert pyramid, and on the inside, things look a little unusual. A whole village of torches. And I'm pretty sure this block is supposed to be blue. That's not all what's wrong here. Roll the clip.
Break. Oh my god, there's water down here. Holy shit.
Okay, so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to conclude that this speedrunner is clearly cheating. But the main reason I included this in my video is because of how funny this guy's commentary is.
I have to get the TNT, so wait. Oh my god, it's another room.
Ah yes, this must be the hidden treasure room. Just like that, they beat the game. Nah, I'm kidding. Their end portal doesn't even work.
Hey, why does it not work? What? Hey, wait, give me a second. Technical
What was that cut?
And we are back.
Ah, it cracks me up every time. But wait, there's more.
Let's go. And now we are back, boys.
Even cheating, this kid is just terrible at the game. You gotta love how an actual professional speedrunner would probably kill the dragon quicker than this floating goofball.
Dragon is running away from us, guys. Look, he's such a coward.
And they're shooting arrows at the dragon while she's perched. This is just painful to watch. Luckily though, the end of this speedrun is the icing on the cake.
And we're back, guys. Oh my god, we beat the dragon. Holy shit.
Whoa, buddy, my videos are family friendly. No cursing here, come on. Okay. I really want to believe that this speedrun is legitimate because it is extremely professional. They have a timer, they have the tick rate updated, which means they're probably an experienced tool-assisted speedrunner, but just watch the speedrun, it's wacky. They dig straight down, finding a buried treasure chest, and it does look very normal. They take 6 iron ingots, 2 blocks of TNT, and craft a pressure plate. The speedrunner builds back up, and they get very lucky by finding a village.
Come on. Ah, dang it, I lost some time in the water.
See what I mean though? This guy seems like a very professional speedrunner. Well, hold on to your socks. The speedrunner then starts looting the village.
Oak saplings are super overpowered.
Believe it or not, this single oak sapling is the key to this entire speedrun. They finish grabbing 4 beds, then they use their TNT and pressure plate to blow up a house. A very efficient speedrunning strategy for getting cobblestone. Then, after the speedrunner gets their cobblestone, they build the portal. Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Make the portal, and boom.
They really had us in the first half. You're probably thinking, now that he's in the nether, the speedrunner's probably looking for a nether fortress or a bastion. But, just roll the clip.
Alright, there we go. Pretty lucky that I got that cave.
Well, that all happened very quickly. Luckily, the dragon begins to perch, and remember what the speedrunner said earlier about oak saplings? Well...
Run is so bad, alright? I can just finish it up. That was garbage. Woo, world record number like 17.
I am convinced this man is responsible for every submission on speedrun.com. To give you an idea of what to expect for this next speedrun, this is its thumbnail. Is Minecraft Steve okay?
Hey guys, welcome back to another video.
He was in creative, but he switched back to survival before starting the speedrun, so I'll give him a chance here.
We're gonna be speedrunning Minecraft, and this is totally real. So, oh wow, what is this? I think we found the rarest structure in Minecraft.
Actually though, I have never seen this structure before.
No way, guys. I think we just got the rarest structure in the game.
You know, it's just a hunch, but I think this is the rarest structure in Minecraft. The speedrunner casually acquired more weapons than FPS Russia, but now they're just stuck in this bottomless pit. Oh, I mean the rarest structure in Minecraft. And it is embarrassing how they get out of it.
Anyway,
Like I said, as long as he goes back to survival mode, it's fair game, right?
no way, bro. There was a full ender portal right here.
So the speedrunner uses the nether portal, and wait a second. What in the world is MSWP? Missouri State Water Patrol? No, that can't be it. Montessori School of Washington Park? No, wait a second, I got it. Of course, it's Minecraft Super Wumbo Party. So they get to the nether, and it looks like they got a special mystery gift from Herobrine himself.
No way. Thank you, Herobrine. You're so cool.
The speedrunner returns to the overworld with their miraculous loot, and these next few moments are so ridiculously goofy.
No way, guys. We got 1 in a trillion chance.
I'm not really sure how the guns and endless diamonds are adding to this speedrun, but out of all the ways this guy could have cheated, this is how he decides to.
Ooh, no way. Why were there just ender pearls right here? Huh? Killed the dragon for you, Herobrine? That means we got the world record.
Alright, I guess if you want the new world record, just call up your old pal Herobrine. This speedrun is unusual for a variety of reasons. Number 1, what is an infinipearl and why is it trademarked? Number 2, the speedrunner is so bad that they actually get trapped in this powder snow. Yeah, they waste a good 20 to 30 seconds just trying to escape this snow. It is hilarious. Until we finally discover what the infinipearl is. Well, they use it to escape the snow. It's exactly what you'd expect. And as soon as they teleport, they turn around and they find a ruined portal. And they're still struggling in the snow. They take a peek at the ruined portal chest, and it is loaded to the brim with a lot of good stuff, including speedrunner bulk. What in tarnation? Is this even a legitimate copy of Minecraft? Well, the speedrunner eats the bulk, and I guess they're bulked now. Did I miss an update? Can someone help me out in the comments here? The speedrunner attempts, emphasis on attempts, building the ruined nether portal. I don't think this guy's ever heard of a straight line before. Despite that, and despite him not removing that crying obsidian, somehow he still lights the portal. Is this even possible? And surprise, surprise, of course, the speedrunner is right in front of a nether fortress, full to the brim of blazes. So they pearl into the nether fortress, at least they tried to, by accident falling into the pit of lava, and I guess they're fine? This speedrun is beginning to feel like one of those dreams where you show up to class in just your underwear. This is such a fever dream. I guess they survive their slip into the lava, so they proceed to kill blazes. But they quite literally are on the brink of death 1, 2, 3, 4 different times, somehow managing to get 5 blaze rods, which is an absolute miracle for their skill level. So the speedrunner returns to their nether portal, but unfortunately they begin to be chased by this army of piglins. So to avoid being almost killed a 5th time, they just throw all their gold in the ground and hope for the best. Dropping a total of 56 gold ingots and getting 45 ender pearls, I am more likely to win the lottery 1,000 times in a row than this happening. So even though the gold distracted the piglins for just a moment, the speedrunner still almost dies trying to enter the nether portal, and somehow by a miracle they actually get in and go back to the overworld. And once in the overworld, the speedrunner crafts 10 eyes of ender, unfortunately wasting most of them. What a dummy. While the speedrunner is trying to locate the stronghold, I'm taking a look around their world, and this seed is very suspicious. There are 2 more ruined nether portals, and I'm pretty sure I see diamond on this mountain here, which really makes you wonder, where do you think the stronghold is? So the speedrunner crafts some diamond tools, and then they dig down. On their way down, though, they find a strange ore, mining it, getting an achievement called speedrunning time, and it turns out it's a speedrunner ingot. Again, what in tarnation? But despite all of this, the speedrunner still gets lost, almost dies to a witch, and somehow it turns out they were directly above the portal room the entire time. And remember how I said they wasted all their eyes of ender? Yeah, well, do the math here. You got 6 unfilled frames, and he has 4 eyes of ender. So it's time to make your bets. What do you think this goofball is gonna do? $10 says he summons the banana man or the pee-pee trader. No, well, actually, the speedrunner left clicks on the 2 empty frames, and yeah, one of the frames is just replaced with an end portal. I mean, hey, that works too. So the speedrunner jumps into their single end portal, entering the end, and come on again. This is not the first time I've seen this. They are in a completely different version of Minecraft. Who has the time to do this? So the speedrunner approaches the dragon and begins to wallop him. Wait a second, why is the speedrunner turning around? They walk away from the ender dragon, and the speedrunner finds a mech suit. Wait, that was so cool. Why'd they pause the game? Wait a second, what is that setting? 4K RTX realism? Oh my goodness, they just turned it on. Wait, what's going on here? That was so cool. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. A+ to the speedrunner. This speedrun, I'm gonna need help in the comments figuring out what exactly happened here, because it is very professional, but also so wrong. The speedrunner spawns in a forest, and then they break this very specific window, jumping up and accessing this chest in a village house. And everything looks pretty normal here, other than finding the exact number of obsidian they would need to build a nether portal. I mean, look, maybe this guy is just pretty lucky. So they find a pickaxe and they continue to loot the village houses and get some beds. This section, though, is extremely confusing to me as the speedrunner starts breaking cobblestone in this house, and I don't know if I'm just tired, but there seems to be a very sudden cut. Yeah, actually, wait a second. Now that I take a look back at this footage, something's definitely wrong here. If I go frame by frame here, I don't know if that cobblestone just turned into obsidian or if this is a graphical glitch, but right after this happens, suddenly he's just in a completely different area. So what is this, the magical teleporting block? And that's what's pretty confusing about this cut, is that it seems like nothing is different. So the speedrunner kills a squid and then they get some dye. They go back to the village, breaking a bookshelf and then crafting a book and quill. And here's where I just get so lost. They open up the book and quill and write, I'm not even sure how to say this, baptized redivides. What is this guy, a Harry Potter fan? What's going on here? And for a while, there is no follow-up as to what this book and quill's purpose is for the speedrun, until they go in the mines, mine some iron ore, and start smelting it. So they build their nether portal, craft flint and steel with their iron, light the nether portal, and remember the book and quill from earlier? Well, here's where it all comes together. Yeah, they just threw that book into the nether portal, and now it looks like it leads to the dark dimension. You know how in my previous videos where I would say they enter the nether, but I say the end by accident? Well, this time, the speedrunner enters the end with the nether portal. What in tarnation? For some reason, the speedrun just goes into a video editor, and they're saying that the speedrun is legit because there's no cut when they enter the end. But if you look back at the timeline, there's like 40 different cuts. Buddy just exposed himself by trying not to expose himself. I cannot deal with this. And for the most part, when they get on the end island, they actually do look like they know exactly what they're doing when it comes to professional speedrunning. Except for when they just put 10x speed on the screen and speed up everything. To be fair, in my personal opinion, the Ender Dragon fight is more boring than watching paint dry, so I do kind of appreciate that the speedrunner sped this part up. And honestly, I don't even care at this point if the speedrun is fake or not. This guy is literally preaching to the choir by typing perch in the chat box. Couldn't have said it better, buddy. After what seems like an eternity, the speedrunner actually does do really well with killing the dragon with beds, beating the game in really amazing time despite me not having any idea what just happened. And I was actually pretty interested in figuring out why there were still minutes left of this video when I found this at the end of it. Special edition TNT Minecraft Nuke. Okay guys, I know this isn't the usual, but we gotta watch this. So someone in the comments gonna have to help me figure out what exactly is happening here, but it looks like he's jamming in a bunch of minecarts with TNT into a single block. Alright, actually that was pretty cool. This is quite literally the fastest speedrun I've ever witnessed in my entire life. The speedrunner creates their world, and we actually have to wait like a whole minute for the loading screen to finish. And as soon as they load into the world, they jump and a nether portal literally appears out of thin air. Well, I guess they're going to the nether now. And before the world even loads in, they get a ton of new recipes and advancements, and they have blaze rods and ender pearls already in their inventory. Somehow the blaze rods turn into blaze powder, and then that's added to the ender pearls to create eyes of ender. If someone has any idea how this is working, I am very curious. Please comment down below. And in a split second, an entire end portal is crafted beneath them. And once they're in the end, they jump, which teleports them on top of the end island, and the ender dragon has literally 1 HP. Then the speedrunner uses their bow, kills the dragon, and I guess beats Minecraft in literally 1 minute. But if you don't include the loading screens, it had to have been like 10 seconds. What in tarnation? This speedrunner builds a house. Wait a second. What's going on outside of that house? Oh my goodness. Clearly, there's been some Minecraft updates that I've missed over the past few years. This was an absolute fever dream. In this first speedrun, the player gets some wood, crafts some tools, and then he's ready to find diamonds. He goes into a cave and, well, all of a sudden he can walk through walls. I'm not sure how he's doing this because it still shows that he's in survival mode. Needless to say, he finds diamonds very quickly. He crafts diamond tools and armor, and thank God because his skin is a little weird. After that, he needs obsidian to go to the nether, but wait, no, why is he walking away from it? This speedrunner builds back up and starts walking backwards. And out of nowhere, he starts getting the nether portal animation, but there's not a portal anywhere near him. Okay. This speedrunner explores the nether for a bit, but surprise, surprise, he suddenly has wall hacks again. And he finds a nether fortress very quickly. He gets blaze rods, and at this point in a speedrun, you would want to get ender pearls. So he finds a bastion, and wait, no, why is he walking away from it? The speedrunner goes back to the overworld, and he returns in a completely different area than before. And there's conveniently a chest at the portal that has ender pearls in it. But the portal he comes back in isn't even lit. What? So he crafts his eyes of ender and throws it in the air to determine where the stronghold is. He travels in that direction, but he's suddenly traveling at the speed of light. How is this even possible? He must have given himself the effect and then cut it out of the run. When he's done being a speedster, he finds the stronghold, but he's having a tough time actually finding the portal. It's no surprise that he magically gets wall hacks again. He finds the portal, fills it, and enters the end. For the grand finale, this speedrunner proves his clutch skills by climbing a pillar and doing a 360 bow and arrow on the ender dragon, but how did it just die in one hit? If we rewind this clip, we can see he gave himself strength and feather falling and cut it out of the run. This speedrunner has no shame. We can tell this next speedrun is official because there's a Wondershare Filmora video editor watermark on it. This guy didn't even take the time to get the legit version. His world generation loading screen looks legit, but when he spawns, he's aimed slightly downwards and he's in a village. So he probably spawned himself there. He loots a chest in the village and finds a crap ton of obsidian. With this suspicious amount of obsidian, he makes a nether portal, but I think the speedrunner got confused because he started making it horizontally, but he has some blocks to spare, so it's okay. So his second portal attempt, and he made a square. I can't watch this anymore. He makes his third portal correctly this time and goes to the nether. So he's in the nether, but he has no tools, armor, or weapons, which is a huge problem. And there's a cut to the speedrun where his entire inventory changes. That's right, he instantaneously has netherite armor, tools, and weapons. This must be a new 1.17 feature. So the next step in a speedrun is to find either a bastion or a nether fortress. Wait, no, why is he mining this glowstone? He uses the glowstone and crying obsidian to make a respawn anchor, so I'm beginning to think he doesn't understand how speedruns work. But he clicks on the respawn anchor and somehow gets teleported to the end. But wait, it gets even weirder. He jumps into the void and then somehow he makes it onto the island. But he forgets to cut out the chat saying set own game mode to survival mode. Well, he made it all this way, so the ender dragon fight is gonna be epic, right? Wrong. He cuts again and the dragon is just gone and the portal is spawned. And when he jumps into it, there should be credits, but instead he just automatically spawns back into the overworld. This was painful to watch. This next speedrun has a suspiciously normal start. The speedrunner gets wood, crafts tools, and as soon as he hovers over his tools, they become enchanted. Dude, what? He then digs down to get cobblestone, and when he starts mining the stone, well, you can just watch what happens. After getting diamonds via legitimate methods, the next thing you'd expect for him is to dig further down to make a nether portal. Instead, he walks around for a little and by accident drops his diamond. But when he turns around, a lit ruined nether portal just appears. Casual. To make it worse, when he walks near lava, it automatically becomes obsidian. Now I'm just confused as to how any of this is happening. He loots a chest that conveniently has full enchanted golden armor with protection, unbreaking, and mending. When he gets into the nether, there's no need for the speedrunner to find a bastion or a fortress, because as soon as he spawns in, his inventory gets filled with blaze rods, ender pearls, and eyes of ender. He's making significant progress at only 2 minutes into this run. So the speedrunner returns to the overworld and throws the eye of ender to determine where the stronghold is. Wait, no, why is he turning around? What does he do? This is fine. Everything's fine. Well, he fills this fake ender portal with eyes, and as soon as he enters the stronghold, he already has the advancement for defeating the dragon, and there's a chat conversation between him and the dragon, and he does this all in world record time. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. This next speedrun, the speedrunner spawns in a village, but there's experience points on the ground, so he must have died before in this world. He goes inside one of the houses, loots a chest, and gets some pretty legitimate looking items. Thank God he got that armor because his Minecraft skin is Shrek. Right around the corner is the most suspicious looking dungeon I've ever seen in a speedrun. Not only is it above ground and it's spawning endermen, which isn't possible, but the endermen are all facing the same direction and not moving or fighting back at all. Okay, well that was clearly fake, but this speedrunner still has time to redeem himself. He explores more of the village, but once again, right around the corner is a dungeon, spawned above ground, and it's spawning blaze. I guess the spawner wasn't working, so he goes to the nearby farm, and then there's a very obvious cut in the run. Then he tries to cover it up by looting the farm, but when he's done looting and he turns around, there's like 40 more blaze that just magically appeared behind him, and he obliterates them. Right in front of him is a lit ruined nether portal, which is impossible. I don't even know why he bothered making that because he doesn't even need it. He has 11 eyes of ender for the- wait a second. Just a minute ago, he got 9 ender pearls, but now he has 11 eyes of ender. When did that happen? This can only get worse. He looks down at the grass for a moment and types in chat, BRB, I have to go eat dinner. Within a split second, there's a cut, and he's suddenly in the stronghold. He finds the portal, fills it, and enters the end. With no reputation left to lose, the speedrunner just starts typing a /kill command to beat the game. Yeah, that'll go right over the moderators' heads. This next speedrunner spawns right in the middle of the ocean, which isn't possible. He dives down and finds an underwater ruin and takes some legitimate looking loot from the chest. He makes his way to land and starts mining. But wait a second, where did he get that iron pickaxe? If we rewind the footage, he just looted wooden tools, so he must have given himself a free upgrade. He continues mining in a cave system, stops for a moment, then starts typing in chat that he has gut instinct on where Purtle is. Okay. Then he walks further down the cave and finds a ruined nether portal. Dude, come on. He just needs one more obsidian block and then he can light the portal and go to the nether. And here we go again. He has many a feeling of lava after he says that he breaks a very specific block on the wall and reveals a huge pit of lava and water. He completes the nether portal and then goes to the nether, but he struggles to find a fortress and he's wasting precious time. It's common practice for professional speedrunners to change their render distance to find structures more easily, but this speedrunner changes his render distance to the lowest option, looks down at the ground, and makes a shamelessly obvious cut in his run. He changes his settings back, and the way he justifies what happened is that his computer card hot lagged. Dude, I build computers all the time and I don't even know what that means. The speedrunner approaches the blazes, but quickly realizes he could die from the flames. And all of a sudden he has a shield in his left hand, but I'm confused as to why he cheated because he had the materials to just make it legit anyways. He gets his blaze rods and goes back to the overworld, but he still doesn't have any ender pearls. Then he starts typing in chat again saying that he has gut instinct on Slendermen. He walks around the corner and what do you know, there's a dungeon with an enderman spawner in it, which isn't even a legitimate feature of Minecraft. The speedrunner farms his endless supply of Slendermen, then he crafts his eyes of ender, locates the stronghold, and makes his way to the end portal. This totally professional and legitimate speedrunner ends his speedrun in the best way possible. While fighting the ender dragon, he dies by accident, and with no shame whatsoever, he teleports himself back to the stronghold and then just uses a kill command. I have no words. If you've seen any speedruns like these that you think should be in the next video, at me on Twitter with the video links. Subscribe!
The speedrunner loads in the world and, yeah, something fishy's going on here. Dirt blocks are inversed, grass is upside down. I guess it's opposite day because somehow he's alive with 0 hearts. Yeah, this is gonna be painful to watch. And I'm not even gonna make a single comment about their crosshair indicator. So the speedrunner wastes a lot of time collecting grass until they discover a village. And you know, it looks like a typical village, but remember how I said it was opposite day? Yeah, that villager's not looking too hot today. So the speedrunner breaks some wood for materials, they make a crafting table, and create a pickaxe. But what's going on with this door over here? Everything good, buddy? Yeah, clearly there is just something really off about this speedrun. So they make some more tools, collect some hay, and then they kill this golem. But for some reason when they take damage, they actually gain a heart. What in tarnation? And someone want to go in the comments and explain to me why this iron ingot has love handles now? How does this happen? Well, anyways, the speedrunner crafts a bucket and they make bread from their hay, and when they're eating the bread, something's going on in their Minecraft game where they're eating it like it's a baguette. Pretty cool, but weird. They spend a little bit more time exploring this village, and I can't quite put this together, but there is something seriously wrong with that chicken. So despite the chickens looking like they've contracted a brain-eating disease, the speedrunner collects beds, and then they casually walk past a floating farm, exploring more of the village and looting some of the houses, getting actually really good and legitimate looking loot. They do find some iron armor, but when they equip it, I don't know if they deleted System 32 by accident before they started their speedrun, but something's up. And when the speedrunner leaves the village, the animals just get worse and worse. Oh man, that is nasty. And now I see some horses up ahead, and I am actually scared to pause the video and take a closer look at them. The speedrunner finds himself in a ravine where you would find some pretty normal ravine stuff. Some iron, some diamonds, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but this is just getting worse by the minute. At this point, I'm just beginning to get confused because the speedrunner ends up wasting a lot of time exploring this ravine until they run into the world's first creeper spider. So I guess if you were wondering what it would look like if a spider and a creeper had a baby, here you go. I gotta say, I love how the speedrunner has just been running past endless diamonds and they have not bat an eye. But I guess who needs diamonds when you could take damage and gain a heart from it? When they attempt to build their nether portal, they keep on putting down the lava and the water and it just keeps on disappearing, and this is just infuriating to watch. I honestly honestly can't tell if this is normal or not. I think I'm just being paranoid at this point. Well, anyways, they get some flint, they make their flint and steel, and they light the nether portal. And before I say anything, just tell me if you noticed what just happened. Rewind the video if you have to. Things are looking a little different, right? Things are a little brighter, the GUI is bigger, they're playing a completely different version of the game. Come on, buddy, you think I wouldn't have noticed that? I don't know what to believe anymore. I feel like this guy is just making the speedrun just to bug me. But anyways, he starts mining this gold, and you are never gonna guess what's about to happen. Johnny, roll the clip. Yep, believe it or not, this actually has a 0.01% chance of happening. The Hoagland's Stash. Update made by Notch on April 18th, 2021. You know, it's weird. I think I missed this update. I love how the speedrunner gets rid of their interface to put an emphasis on the fact that they discovered this goofy stash, and inside, the mother lode. So the speedrunner takes their blaze rods and ender pearls, and they go on their merry way. This guy's just so good, he doesn't even need a nether fortress or bastion. And look at that beautiful cut. Now that they're back in the overworld, they return to the surface, and I just realized, why are ender pearls called Turt pearls, and the eyes of ender are called Eye of Turt? Who is Turt? Is that a turtle? Is that your nickname? Buddy's name is Turt? So the speedrunner throws their Eye of Turt in order to locate the stronghold, and they conveniently come across a dolphin. And I kid you not, the next 5 minutes of the speedrun is literally just them swimming. It is so boring, it could put me to sleep. And considering up to this point how creative this guy has been with cheating, it was actually pretty weird to see them use commands to change the weather. I get that the weather conditions can be annoying sometimes, but was that really necessary? I mean, the dude practically exposed himself for cheating just because he doesn't like a little bit of rain. And listen, I've been forcing myself to watch this and I've survived for this long, but come on, man, you really had to put the creeper on the spider like that. Unfortunately, the speedrunner is wasting a lot of time here, so they give us the courtesy of putting some text on the screen that their game kind of glitched here and it's totally not sped up, FYI. Yeah, okay, buddy, tell it to the judge. I still can't tell if this guy is purposefully going out of his way to bug me, but I have never seen someone so bad at locating a stronghold. Those are 10 minutes of my life that I am never gonna get back. Finally, though, the speedrunner does locate the stronghold, and it's great to see that their game isn't glitched anymore and the speed is finally back to normal. And with literally 2 minutes left of this footage, I am very interested in seeing how they're gonna beat the entire game, having just gotten into the portal room now. So they fill the portal with eyes, and they get into the end. The advancement says the end with a question mark. I agree with that question mark. There's netherrack everywhere. The boss bar says the wither, and oh dandy, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are back. Looking back on this speedrun as a whole, there's clearly a theme. All of the mobs have been given the ugly. In the end, I caught a glimpse of the wither. Yeah, that's not looking too good. And of course, it would not be a fake Minecraft speedrun if it didn't end with this goofy goober hitting the dragon and killing it in a single hit. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have nightmares tonight of the sheep, the chicken, the villager, and the Ninja Turtles. This speedrunner starts off riding a train track. This must be a new update to Minecraft. Minecarts are looking a little too realistic lately. Hang on a second, did they just activate a nuclear weapons testing? Oh my goodness, what's gonna happen? What was this, the Oppenheimer Minecraft speedrun? Let's move on. This speedrun has one of the most unexpected plot twists ever. It's off to a great start considering their username is HolyGaming420. Two seemingly very contradictory things, and they've already cleared their inventory and changed their game mode to survival. I can already tell this is gonna cause me physical pain. The speedrunner immediately digs down, revealing a chest, but it's empty. So they use commands to give themselves a wooden pickaxe, like that's gonna help them. Anyways, there's a torch on this random plot of land, so they break the block beneath the torch, revealing a very long hole. And in that hole is another chest, but don't worry, it's not empty. It has a diamond pickaxe in it. But I'm not really sure how that's supposed to help them, because they're now at the bottom of the world with no means of getting back.
Alright guys, this is the greatest thing. Oh wait. No. No.
It's too early for this. So HolyGaming420 died, but they still keep their entire inventory, and I know that their levitation plan didn't work, but don't worry, they've got another plan. They give themselves a bat. Oh, sorry, they just don't know how to spell. A baboat. A boat. They give themselves a boat, even though that's still not the right command. I don't know if this is one of those challenge videos where this guy is like running a marathon while speedrunning Minecraft. Things are not sounding good in his microphone.
Is it gonna work?
I guess this guy decided boats are too slow, so he gives himself super speed, at which point he screams like a maniac into his microphone. And I guarantee if he shares a domicile with anyone, they are not gonna be happy. When the speedrunner's super speed wears off, you can very clearly see a path leading to this cave here. Inside, they find a sign that says, "Flick this lever to get a hot Minecraft chick." I'm gonna die from cringe, guys. I can't finish this video. And when they flick the lever... Anyways, the speedrunner digs down again and they find 64 Eyes of Ender. Surprise, surprise. So the speedrunner throws the Eye of Ender and he just decides to go the opposite way that it went. The speedrunner aimlessly wanders around for about a minute or two until they say this.
I heard if you look down holes.
Are you okay, buddy? You're gonna get the cops called to your house. With absolutely no shame left, he just decides to put himself into creative mode. Come on, if you're gonna cheat, at least be creative. I don't know if you guys realize this. I scour the internet trying to find the top tier, goofiest speedruns of all time. Unfortunately though, 99% of them are just like this. Immediately getting diamond or netherite weapons and armor, going into creative mode, and killing the dragon with the /kill command. It's just boring.
Creative mode!
But the end of the speedrun is funny, because they're not jumping in the portal, which means the speedrun is not complete yet. What is this guy doing?
I heard if you summon this, you'll get on.
Oh my goodness, did he just get cussed out by his mom in Spanish? I ain't messing with her. That was legit. This speedrunner spawns in a forest, and then they throw some TNT at some piglins. They use their elytra to fly, and then defeat an iron golem. Whoops, this isn't Minecraft. I totally put the wrong footage in here by accident. Warning, the following commentary was recorded when I had a cold. No, there's nothing wrong with my voice. No, I didn't just hit puberty. Yes, my voice is definitely gonna change throughout videos as I get more comfortable speaking into a microphone. This is my story. This speedrun is an absolute fever dream. The start does look normal, but come on, man, at least activate your copy of Windows before submitting a speedrun. And we'll just ignore the fact that they're already level 5. The speedrunner gets very lucky by spawning right in a village, so they casually explore it until they find a chest that has some obsidian, a single raw chicken, and guns? All right, that's enough of that. After the speedrunner's reign of terror is over, they approach a hole in the ground that suspiciously resembles the shape of a nether portal. They build a nether portal and then show off their extreme agility and skill when lighting the portal and missing not once, but twice. Oh, brother. And honestly, this is where I just get confused, because the speedrunner enters the nether for no clear reason. Wait a second, what is that? After an all-out gun battle with what looks like Minecraft's newest cyborg piglin, the speedrunner returns to the overworld. Well, that was pointless. Now that they're back in the overworld, the speedrunner walks towards a very specific stone block and starts breaking it. They fall down a hole and what in the world is that? They find a chest that has the most cursed loot ever in it, such as these very rare green diamonds, or this 100% legitimate uranium pickaxe. And this amazing loot is all thanks to the pee-pee trader, who has become a recurring character in Minecraft speedruns, showing up in tons of my videos. Who is this guy and how does he keep getting in my videos? So the speedrunner fills the end portals with Eyes of Ender that they got from the pee-pee trader, and they enter the end. And if you thought this couldn't get any worse, you're wrong. It's actually sad to see how bad this speedrunner is at cheating when they realize they can't break through the end stone to reach the Ender Dragon because they never actually took that pickaxe from earlier. So they shamelessly start typing a /give command, revealing the weirdest and most illegal mods you could possibly imagine, like a dishwasher. After wasting a ton of time, they do eventually cheat their way to getting a diamond pickaxe and mine their way up to the surface. Finding the Ender Dragon was a breeze for the speedrunner, considering they have a nuclear death ray. For the sake of my own safety, I am legally obligated to say this one is legit. You know what else I'm legally obligated to say? Subscribe to my channel. Thanks, guys. Okay, so before I start this next speedrun, I just want to point out my last video, I think a lot of you guys were concerned, saying that I sounded tired or depressed. I don't know what it was. I think I was just tired. Don't worry. But it doesn't matter because the beginning of this speedrun, oh, it's gonna make us both wake up. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna play it and you need to experience this amazingness. That's not a word. That intro really made me feel like I was back in 2011 trick-shotting on Modern Warfare 2. Oh yeah, you know the speedrun's gonna be good when it has an intro like that. And when the video quality looks stretched out like a Moist Critical video. And again, I know this one's fake. They're selecting the third slot on their hotbar. It says set on game mode to survival. It doesn't take Bill Nye the Science Guy to figure out this is fake. Well, the speedrunner breaks this tree, they make a crafting table, and they craft some tools. I'm not sure what the speedrunner pressed, but they got a pop-up on their screen saying social interactions are only available in multiplayer worlds. Honestly, I have never seen that before. I have no idea what they were trying to do. Anyways, the speedrunner digs down, collecting 3 granite. I'm honestly not really sure what they're trying to do here. They go to their crafting table and make I don't know, a thick boat? Then they make sticks, and they attempt to make a granite pickaxe. You cannot make this up. You know what? This kind of thing happens. Just the other week, I was very tired, and instead of putting toothpaste on my toothbrush, I put hand soap on my toothbrush. Granite, cobblestone, what difference does it make? The speedrunner, honestly, they waste like 5 minutes just walking around doing nothing until they start typing /ag. I don't know what that means. On top of that, their chat history reveals a lot about themselves. I have no idea what they're doing, filling 473 blocks, or going to the end, falling out of the world, filling more blocks, falling out of the world again. I am so excited to watch the rest of this speedrun. Well, it doesn't matter. The cat is out of the bag now, and the speedrunner just gives up everything and goes into creative mode. They land onto the ground, and I love how it looks like they're going to put themselves into survival mode, but they have second thoughts and they go, you know what, adventure mode, which now that I think about it is probably not better for them. Well, the speedrunner finds a village, and inside one of the village houses, there is a chest with some considerable looking items. Now that the speedrunner has literally everything that they would need, they explore more and they find a desert temple, which is very confusing to me because I don't know why they would need this. They have everything that they would need. You're never gonna guess what happens. They go inside the desert temple, dig all the way down with a sword, which is very slow, and like a dummy, they land right on the pressure plate. And I don't know if you could tell, but they're worried. The text on the screen says, oh no. The TNT explodes, and they land, I kid you not, directly into the stronghold portal room. And you could tell they're surprised because the text on the screen says OMG. For all the parents out there listening, if you don't know, OMG means oh my glob. So the speedrunner shows off their extreme skill and agility by missing a bunch of Eyes of Ender when they're filling the portal. They jump into the end portal and enter the stronghold. Nope, I'm so stupid. I didn't mean to say that. They enter the end, is what I'm getting at. And in the end, the Ender Dragon has maybe 1 health, maybe 5 if he's lucky. And you remember earlier how we found out that the speedrunner filled like thousands of blocks? When they turn around, I think this is maybe what they did with the blocks. And this guy has the gabagools to ask us to subscribe? That is crazy. And if you guys aren't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to subscribe. Yeah, thanks. You're not gonna believe it. These next few moments is like a scene from a Michael Bay movie. It's like a fight scene out of the Daredevil TV show. The speedrunner uses their rockets and elytra to blast into the middle of the end island, bringing out their bow, doing a 360 no-scope trick shot, one-shotting the Ender Dragon. That was very, very impressive. And what would have been more impressive is if they just speedran the game legitimately. Nonetheless, I was entertained, I'm not gonna lie. This definitely gave me a good chuckle